another of those games from my Analyzing Bullet Games series that I've got ongoing right now. And this one is about understanding the structure, the pawn structure. Because certain structures will occur in many, many different openings. And if you happen to play all those openings, you understand piece dynamics, what to trade, tactics that exist in there. You only need to know those set of themes for that pawn structure. Now, it's interesting that I play an Alekhine Defense, and my opponent goes, I'm not having any of this. I am just going to trade a whole bunch. And I definitely do not recommend you do this with white, because you have given away your first move edge. Black already has equality here, and I love to go, sure, boss, if you want to trade, you trade on my terms. And this is kind of a cute position because black is now a move up in a symmetrical pawn structure, meaning I am now playing white because white mismanaged using his white pieces in that first move initiative. Let your opponent trade, sure. Try to find comfort in an equal endgame with a higher rated opponent. Watch what happens. No. Best chances you have to beat somebody who is much better than you, go for the throat. Keep complications, go after them. Strongly recommend. Okay, let's keep going here. Now, d4, knight c6, and this structure happens in a lot of my games. From, say, when I get an exchange Caro-Kann, you play c3 and e6 here, that's the structure. If we flip the colors, this is the Carlsbad structure in the Queen's Gambit. So, playing with white structure, and I also know after c3 I'm supposed to play b5 at some point. So I understand the structure. I get it quite a lot in my games with both colors. Well, bishop b5. So next move, I'm kind of going, all right, I understand you're defending the d-pawn, but you're not defending it in the most optimal way. This is an open position, and you're looking to potentially trade off that bishop, so I encourage you to do so. All right, after knight f3, we're going to go e6. And thank you, sir. Now I have the bishop pair in the open position. Now knight e5. Probably if I had more time and this wasn't a 1-minute game, I would play a move like bishop b5, as that looks pretty annoying. But I just played rook c8, and like, okay. You get rid of the knight for the bad bishop in the situation, which could have been activated with bishop b5 here. And I'm going to get c-file to work with, a position I understand, and room for improvement. So let's see. Bishop f4, bishop e7. Now I encourage him to do what I wanted him to do after f6. That's how you get rid of a well-posted knight on e5. You kick it out of there with a pawn. Now c-pawn's weak. Now let's take stock in the position. Good bishop, bad bishop. Why? These pawns are stuck and targets for my bishop in the long run. Also, my king is better than my opponent's because it is going to be an active participant. Also, with my pawn structure, I can look to press in different ways. White has a defensive pawn structure. We have the aggressive pawn structure. Learn how to use it. King d7, and after rook a b1, straight away b5, because there's no longer the rook to support a4 and potentially get an open file to work with. No, I don't want you to have targets. Bishop b3. Now that bishop is a pawn. He's doing the same job a pawn on e3 would. Nothing. So when your opponent is giving you time and you have a clear plan to break, improve the position. a5. Now f4 is played. How good is this bishop looking? Keep that in mind. b4. Now he's looking to potentially trade. All right, let's invite everybody to where the action's taking place. Let's go ahead and say, all right, I've optimized my position. What are you going to do? Make your bishop worse. It happens. It's okay. Takes, takes. Bishop b4. Takes, takes. And you go, well, you were talking all this smack about how good your bishop was. Well, I understand that this is a completely winning rook and pawn in game for me, so I traded advantages. I cashed in on my bishop in order to get this wonderful pawn. My opponent goes, I don't like that. I'd love for you to help me out. My rook is defensive. If you were to capture here, I could capture back, and my rook could enter the game and be very annoying, and potentially with an outside passed pawn, even though the pawn structure, this guy in particular, super weak, is bad, I can get away with it, maybe even win. So this is probably the only pause-worthy moment. What would you do? Not allow the trade. B3. Let's lock it down, and now I've got a wonderful square for this rook to sit. All I need is one more move, and I'm eyeing this guy. I could potentially go here, and White's entire game falls apart. There's zero counterplay. He plays h4, and oh, feels so nice when a plan comes together. We've got our targets. Now we just need to continue to kill counterplay, get a passed pawn, win the game. So we'll see it. a4. Oh, no. He's not going anywhere. Let's take care of that guy first. That was the only threat. Oh, you want to get into the position? No, sir. None of that. And if you decide to do something like that, I'll just capture and protect the pawn. So he goes right back. Now, let's get that do. The king just walks up. Let's grab that. And it was really hard to prevent that counterplay against the e-pawn, so it was eventually going to happen. But nothing doing here, as our pawn is just far too fast. And here, the fastest way to do it is the immediate check and queen, but I knew I had time. So, did it that way. The game is over as my rook has more than enough time to come back and grab that f-pawn. So keep in mind, structural orientation is important in chess. Some people would see early in the game all these trades as killing potential winning chances, but I grew more comfortable as I understand that my opponent has no chance of hurting me in this middle game with a pawn structure. It's a defensive pawn structure, and they're more than likely, going to continue to play defense, and things are going to fall apart. We even started with an Alekhine. Gotta love that Alekhine Dark Knight Rises course. Never miss an opportunity to plug yourself, just saying. And like and subscribe if you appreciated the video. Thanks. See you next time.